Good afternoon and welcome to episode 3 of Merry Mindfulness. I'm your host, Paul from Word Gets Around, and thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. To say 2020's had its challenges would certainly be an understatement, wouldn't it? It's affected us all and some much more than others. There's further good news this week as the vaccine has been rolled out further across the country to those that are most vulnerable first. Merry Mindfulness is a collaboration with our good friend Teresa Wort. She's a qualified mindfulness and compassion teacher based here in Somerset. Teresa also helps people with anxiety, stress, and chronic pain. This year's seen us all a little bit, I guess, all over the place. And often we're so busy, have such busy lives, particularly this time of year, that we end up living in the past or worrying about the future, that we actually get to be living in the here and now. So this is why Merry Mindfulness was come together, really, a chance at this time of year for you, a time to pause, reflect and learn new techniques, taking some time for yourself and others that you love. So please feel free to ask any comments or questions. There will be a meditation towards the end of the session today, but I'm delighted to welcome Teresa. Where are you, Teresa? There you are.
Here I am, Paul.
Hello.
Hello. Lovely to see you, as always.
I've got my special Christmas t-shirt on, my squirrel t-shirt.
Oh, so should you have that on? Was that a Christmas present that you've stolen from under the tree?
Oh, no, I've had a little while now, so it's the time of year that obviously I can wear it. So
yeah,
I'm like,
I nearly put my polar bear back on today, but I just sort of maybe next week.
Next week. Oh, okay. So good. How's the last week been for yourself?
Yeah, it's been a busy week. Definitely what with doing the Advent mindful calendar every day, you suddenly realise. But the exciting news, just so you wanted me to tell you, only have 9 more sleeps till Christmas. How good is that? We're in single figures.
Yeah.
But no, it's been interesting and obviously created quite a bit of a conversation about thoughts because we discussed that last week. Do you recall?
Yes.
And so I had to sort of cover that again yesterday because people are having a lot of thoughts about their Christmas presents and also their work and what they do at work where they have to be creative. And so there's lots of topics in mindfulness that we cover. And if you could appreciate, I do this over 6 sessions, which could be over 6 or 8 weeks, and they're an hour and a half long. So all these are just little snippets I'm giving you. But obviously today we always try to go and dig a bit deeper. So I thought maybe today something we haven't spoken about is judgment. Do you like that word? Okay. So the grandfather of mindfulness, as we call him, obviously mindfulness comes from Buddhist tradition, and it was brought to the Western world by a gentleman called John Kabat-Zinn. And his full title for definition of mindfulness is paying attention on purpose in a particular way and non-judgmentally. So over these past weeks, I've been teaching you to be aware of your breath and to be aware of your senses. And then we've started to do a little meditation. And the non-judgmental bit comes in that we tend to judge everything. Yeah. So you're smiling already on that one, then, Paul. So what have you judged so far today?
What's that, sorry?
What have you judged so far today?
I don't know. You just judge whether you've done things in the right way. You judge yourself, don't you?
And also, well, are we going to tell them what you've got on today? You've shown the squirrel. Too much? Okay.
Yes, I think so.
Oh, now they're all dying to know what it is, Paul, but never mind. Right.
I don't want to put them off.
No, but you judged that. So, we judge things and we're great judges of ourselves. So mindfulness is teaching you that you're paying attention on purpose in the present moment, non-judgmentally. So the first thing we do when we start meditating or doing anything mindfully is this little bit comes in that wants to judge. So we judge an awful lot. So you're doing a meditation and I say to you, focus, be aware of your feet. Well, instantly, I promise you can start making a conversation about your feet. I'm sure my right one's bigger than my left. Oh, gosh, I do need to cut my toenails. Oh, I'm sure I've got a bunion coming. or is that an ingrowing toenail? You know, we're judging. We can't just be and be with it. So, you know, that's interesting in itself. But then when you take judgment a bit further, we judge tremendously. We wake up in the morning, we look out the window, oh yeah, it's raining. Oh, it's a grey day today. Whereas, you know, hopefully with a bit of positivity, you think, oh, it's brilliant for the ducks. They're going to have a whale of a time, you know, and in the summer for the farmers to be good for the soil. But we do tend to judge. And it's just like now, you know, people will be looking and going, so what is it that Paul's not sharing with us that he shared with Teresa this morning? what so? And that's good because that may well keep them to the end, Paul, and you can tell them then. But anyway, yeah, so we do an awful lot of judgment. So it really it's good to bring that. You judge yourself, and actually we can be quite hard on ourselves, that we judge that we're not good enough, we're not capable. Oh, I won't be any good. Oh, I can't do that. Oh gosh, you know, I mean, we all do it. Even Teresa does it. You know, we make a judgment. The difference when you know mindfulness, so the difference with Teresa is you can catch yourself. So you've heard me speak about before, there's this gap between something happening and you responding. And that gap is called choice. So you can choose. So you learn not to judge yourself. So next week, we're going to talk about compassion and self-compassion, because we're all very good at judging ourselves, but we don't give ourselves compassion. And then we'll also talk about compassion to others and being kind to others. And that's another place that we can judge. We see someone, you know, they just come on the radio or they come on the telly and you instantly make a judgment, which is crazy, really. So, you know, when you get to be aware of that, then that's good, because then you have choice and you start to realize there's no need to even say that or think that. And that's freeing up the mind, because often when you start to judge something, whether it's yourself or someone else or a situation, then all of a sudden other things come in and emotion comes in and it can get a bit heated. So, like, say you're driving into Taunton and the traffic's bad today. Instantly, you might judge yourself that, well, actually, I did leave 10 minutes late. But you haven't on this occasion. Instead, you go, oh, the traffic. Oh, blimey. You know, when's the council going to do something about that? That roundabout is hopeless. Why haven't they got rid of that or done something else? Oh, I'm going to get on to Rebecca Pow. Oh, what else does Rebecca? You know, and all of a sudden, you're Mr. Angry and you're suddenly off on one. All because actually, if you looked back, you left a bit later, but the traffic is what it is.
Yeah.
And sometimes one has to learn to just go with it. This is it. I'm sat in the traffic. Okay, let's be mindful. Got my hand on the steering wheel. Where are my feet? Have I looked in my mirror? When did I last look in my rear view mirror? Are my side mirrors lined up nicely? I don't need to be thinking about work and where I'm going. So what can I see? Because I'm sat here. Gosh, they're off to school. Oh, that's a nice dog. See, I just judged the dog even, but he was a nice one. But, you know, you just bring your senses, your attention to here now and being present. And you can do that sat in a traffic jam. And we're going to have a few of those with the run up to Christmas. And, you know, looking for a space in the car park. And you just need to go with it. Just be with it. Your space will come. So
It's funny
if
you.
that helps a bit.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I mean, I guess this year is there's been a lot of vitriol on on social media sites, particularly Facebook, where people just, you know, if they took a step back and thought, really,
Yeah.
is it that big a deal? And there was one that was about traffic jams in Taunton, you know, and there's like 300 odd comments, and you're like, it's Christmas.
Yeah.
It's the time when there's the most traffic, you know, and you work ways. Yeah, funny enough, that yesterday, so I was at the office yesterday, um, and then we had a series of power cuts here. I don't know what was going on at the office, so I got back on. I wrote an email, and I was trying to send it to a client, and just as I was about to click send, the power went again. And then I was like, it's not meant to be. So let's pack up. So I did that. And then, like you said, I left here and I thought I could go straight home, but then it will be back in. And I thought, no, actually, I'm going to go and get some stuff for the cat, some cat food stuff to see it over Christmas. So I haven't got to think about it over Christmas. And exactly, I got stuck in a traffic jam. It's funny enough, I haven't told you this. This isn't pre-planned,
No.
everybody. And I got stuck in a traffic jam, and I was sat there, and I thought it made me. I actually just enjoyed actually being sat there listening to Christmas music, which I haven't had a chance to stop and
Yeah.
think about. And actually put the heating up. It was nice and cozy. And then what I did, the traffic was really bad. I thought I'll go into so I turned into a Pets at Home because it was where I was, picked some bits up there. So I went in there and got some litter stuff for the cat. And I thought, right, I've got a chance now. I can get back in that traffic jam, and actually, anyway, to cut a long story short, I ended up doing all my Christmas shopping. I'm done because I went to what was it called?
Excellent.
I went to Home Sense, and I went in there, and because of the time of day it was, everybody was stuck in traffic. I had to shop to my. It was so quiet. I got everything done, and I thought, amazing. Like I'd
Yeah.
not got stressed out by it, and it actually turned into something great that I've ticked off for the week. So
Yeah.
brilliant.
How cool is that? And again, that was meant to be. And you just went with it, and you made good choices, and that's what we need to do. It's a bit like the other thing I was going to speak about, said last week, is being and doing mode. So we all get in this doing mode. You fall out of bed in the morning and you're straight on it. You're in this doing mode. It's getting the children ready for school. And you do need that doing mode. You need to be organising and leaving on time and got your sandwiches, got your school kit, got your football kit, whatever. And that's all really important. And then, your day is a bit like that. But we need the doing. It's important. But when we're actually there, then we need to be being. So if you think you're in the doing mode because you've got to get them ready, got to get out the door, got to go to school. But once you're in the traffic, then be in the being mode. And if it is a traffic jam, of course, I'm out of touch with this, Paul. I was stunned when you said it's busy because it's Christmas. Because it's COVID. And because I've been locked in since March, I've driven up the surgery and I've been to Wellington. And, I've not, yeah. So it's like another world for me. But, you're saying it's busy. So when you're sat in the car, instead of getting het up about it, you could then be talking to the children. There's that opportunity to have a nice chat or a sing-along, because Radio 2's been really good at the moment, lots of Christmas songs, and you could be singing to those. And then you get to the destination and you drop the children off, and then you're going to work. But still try and stay in that being mode, because work will come sooner once you get there. And then, yes, you may well have to click again into doing mode and getting organised. But when you're actually doing a project or something that you've got to do, then be with it. Be in the being mode. This is where sometimes people are missing that opportunity that they could be focusing so much better, and concentrating so much better if they gave themselves. And that's what mindfulness teaches you. That's what meditation teaches you: how to focus, how to concentrate, how to not keep going off with those thoughts. Because those thoughts, like I said, 80% of them are negative and 95% will be repeated again tomorrow. And when you think of the number that we have, so yeah, it's important that you do need the doing mode, but then be in the being. So if you take, I'm sure we've got some ladies listening, and obviously guys, all men cook nowadays. I'll just say that a bit louder in case my husband's listening. Men love to cook. But anyway, you're cooking this Christmas dinner. And okay, you've got to go into doing mode to order the turkey and stuff it to whatever you're going to do. But when it comes to doing it, then just enjoy it. You're here and now and in this moment. So, I mean, I like cooking, but I thoroughly enjoy more than I ever used to preparing veg. You think, oh, carrots. But actually, it can be quite therapeutic as you watch the skin coming off and see the juices oozing out and smell the carrot. And, oh, yes, I must just taste that. I'm a great taster. But it's all part. And then you feel the difference of when you cut through a potato and how much softer they are. And if you just brought all those senses and was in the moment, then you're being. So we need both. We need the doing, we need the being, but we need to get balance. and then obviously the judgment. And we've come to 10 to 1. Can you believe that already? So go on, ask me, is there any questions you want to ask after I've just said all of that?
Um, I don't know. I guess part of the thing I'm thinking of is the pressure that people feel this time of year, isn't there?
Yeah,
With when I mean a roast dinner's a Christmas dinner is just the normal roast dinner, isn't it? To get and everything, it's people have this thing about. I mean, I remember last year being in the supermarket and it was like just aisle you couldn't move. It was like it's just one day and people sort of stock up for this thing. And one of my
yeah,
things I always think about at Christmas time particularly is that Christmas is a season that you should enjoy, like being aware of it as it develops. I
yeah,
know we've got a week, say we're in, like you said, single figures now, but being aware of that, actually enjoying the whole season of it rather than thinking it culminates and well it's all about one day when other it makes you, it allows you to take a step back on what's happened throughout the year, but also there's what your where your friends are at, where other people might need to speak to, or like you said, give a phone call to, or
yeah. And especially this year, because this
hmm,
year is going to be different. Yeah, because you've just mentioned my advent calendar today. I've shown an old-fashioned telephone and just pick up the phone and ring somebody, ring a relative, ring uh, a neighbour, ring a friend you've not caught up with a long time. It happens to me at the weekends, and I was chuffed to bits. It was, um, my brother's stepdaughter just rang out of the blue and said, "How are you? Do you fancy a FaceTime tonight?" And I thought, wow, and I've not spoken to her for, yeah, because she'd suddenly realised when Dad said, no, we won't be seeing Teresa at Christmas, won't be seeing anybody. And that meant so much to me, and we all had a laugh and a giggle, and it was super. And, when you think of elderly people, it's nothing for me to speak to my mum, and I do try my best to speak to her every day. But often she said, "I've not spoken to anybody else today but you,"
hmm,
and yeah, what does it take to pick up the phone? And that's what it should be about. And it's not worth stressing about. Make your decision, have your plan, but allow flexibility. If it doesn't go, then have a bit of gut feeling like you did. The power cut came, well, it wasn't meant to be. I wasn't supposed to send this yet.
yeah, I
And what does it matter in the bigger picture? You know, this is just a moment in time. In the bigger picture, will that matter in 2 weeks' time or 5 years' time? No. So don't get hung up about it. Let it go. And
I
that's
think
another thing we teach. We have all
yeah.
these different things and letting things go, letting things be, having the wisdom, to see that, just let things just develop, see what comes.
I think one of the things when you mentioned about the routine, the kids to school and this, that, the other, and so
Yeah,
much of our lives is routine. And obviously, this year has been so dictated to us by how things have developed. One minute we're at home, and next minute we're going back to work. Now we can't do this, we can't do that. So I think it's been very challenging for people to have to deal with that disrupted routine. And what made me think about yesterday with the power cut is it's when something happens like a power cut, or I don't know, or a fire alarm goes off. It's because it's almost like it's a bit like power cut when you're home and you get the candles out at home, and it's kind of, I remember as a kid, it's exciting because it's not unexpected,
yeah,
and then it's kind of thrown at you like, oh, oh, what should we do? And it's sort of like changes your mood because you get, like, say yesterday I was like, oh well, oh, I was going to do this, but obviously that's not going to happen. So you can either go down the path of getting really angry and go, oh, well actually I'm going to try and get my Christmas shopping done.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it was something like I'd consciously chosen rather than go down the path of getting frustrated and annoyed. It was like, well, it doesn't really matter, does it? Actually, what could I do instead? Now I could go for a walk outside. I could go and do this. I could pick up the phone and speak to somebody, you know.
yeah,
And it's I've noticed more and more that this year that it's when something happens and you take that step back, like you're saying, to actually think, wait a minute, there's different ways I can go with this, but I'm going to choose this way. And obviously, the outcome, like you said, it's about control the outcome that
yeah.
and
Choice.
the
Yeah,
choice.
choice
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
word.
Because I see
Yeah,
so many people online that just are angry. Obviously a lot of people are frustrated and angry, but some people are angry over nothing. In the big scheme of things, they're nothing. Someone was arguing over, oh, this wasn't set up, and people are going, there's lots of people about the moment with these scooters that are going around town and stuff, but I mean, it's like,
Oh,
but people
well,
are angry. I mean, okay, there's obviously not all except, but some people are angry about people having fun or just actually enjoying being kids. Some
yeah,
of it
yeah. They
obviously is,
forget that they were a child once.
yeah, and it's just kind of take a step back and take actually put stuff into context, I guess, and say, I always say to my youngest daughter, I always say to her when she had a hard day at school, so and so said this, and I go, you've got a pot of energy, and you can only use so much of it up. So don't waste a little bit of the energy on this person that's making you upset. So you choose what you spend your energy on, a bit like currency of energy and
Brilliant.
positivity. So I said, so
Yeah,
don't, if she's upsetting you, then don't give her your time. Your time is your energy, and you're giving it to somebody horrible. So don't bother about them, And
brilliant.
we used to have lots of chats about that in the car before she went to school. And now she's a teenager, of course, these chats are come not so often as they used to. But yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
really interested in that choice that we can all make.
Yeah, and something else you mentioned, so I'll try and bring that in next week's. Next week's our last one was you said about there was a power cut, so things had to be done differently, and we used to get excited in the candle. And something else you can do is be aware of your habitual behaviour. So remember that for next week. So we've left it quite tight now on the meditation,
Yeah,
because we
that
don't
was
want
my
people going
fault. It
back
does.
to
It
work
doesn't
too
matter. You
late.
got 5 minutes more, so we'll leave it.
But
I'll
yeah,
leave it with you.
yeah, okay. So habitual behaviour next week. Okay, you like that one?
Okay.
All right then. So if you just like to make yourself comfortable, ideally with your feet firmly placed on the floor, grounding yourself, feeling your feet on the floor, backs of your calves, your thighs, an awareness of your buttocks sat on the chair, supporting you. An awareness that you're breathing. No need to alter your breath in any way. Just be with your breathing. You may notice your tummy, the fall in the rise. As you focus, you can on your torso, you can feel your ribs, your rib cage. And we're very aware of focusing on the front of our body, but actually your breath can be felt around the sides of your body, the back of your body, being aware of your whole body is breathing. Moving your attention to your chest. Maybe you can feel your breath as your chest rises and falls. Perhaps you have awareness of your lungs. You may even be aware of your heart. Moving your attention to your neck, to your jaw, your lips, your nostrils. Be aware of the cold breath going in, the warm air coming out. An awareness of your cheeks, in your eyes, your forehead. Is your forehead smooth? Is it concentrated? Feels tense? We're just being aware. There's no judgment. We are just being aware of our whole head, our neck, our shoulders, our chest, our belly, rise and fall of your belly, your buttocks, your thighs, your shin bone, your ankles, your feet. An awareness of the whole body, breathing. In your own time, just gently open your eyes. Possibly have a little stretch. And hopefully that's now set you up for the afternoon call.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah. All good. Yeah, it always makes me feel good to go into the afternoon after that. So
Yeah, sorry it wasn't longer, but I'm aware that people going back into work and
yeah,
don't want them to be late. But hopefully they might have an extended lunch next week.
yeah, definitely.
Or they may not be with us at all because they'll be so into Christmas. But
Yeah, so next Wednesday's the 23rd. That's the month
yeah,
has suddenly caught up with us, hasn't it? It's flown by. So
it's flown by.
yeah. So next week was the habitual.
Habitual behaviour,
Yeah.
compassion to yourself, and compassion to others. So yeah,
Perfect. That'll be a great way to end just before Christmas. So
absolutely. Yeah.
well, lovely to catch up with you again, Teresa. I shall
And you.
speak to you next week, if not before. So
Yeah. Thank you. Cheers,
thanks a
Paul.
lot. See you
Bye-bye.
soon. Bye bye now. Bye everybody. Thanks for watching.